really don't appreciate. And this is why this is why men don't want to do for us anymore, because the minute you start to not appreciate but expect, I'm not doing it for you. And I'm a woman and I feel that way. And I know men that feel that way. I don't have to do anything for you but respect you. I don't have to send you money. I don't have to spend money on you. I don't have to do any of that. That's something I want to do.
There you go.
The reason why women are no longer behaving traditionally is because men are no longer behaving traditionally. Y'all aren't behaving traditionally either. And traditionally, I'm not saying I agree with it, traditionally men were the ones who provided.
Y'all are no longer traditional because feminism told y'all to be hoes. Feminism told you that you can dress however you want to dress. You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, and it will empower you as a woman. From 18 to 30, some of y'all go through your whole phase, and then at the end of your whole phase, you expect a traditional man to come in and provide you with traditional values. Unfortunately, it does not work like that, because the traditional man that you're looking for at the end of your journey, they have traditional values that they are also looking for from their woman. And y'all gave it away in y'all younger years and then expect that man to come in and bail you out. Also, feminism told y'all that if you're a stay-at-home wife and you take care of the household, you are a maid. That's the mindset that you have. If you do get a traditional man and he goes to work and he pays all the bills and he provides the financial life and the safety that you want, you then make yourself a maid if you are at home taking care of your responsibilities. Y'all say y'all want to be traditional, but when you are in that traditional role, you complain about it. Y'all say y'all want to be boss girls, but when y'all are in that role, you want the benefits that come with it, but not the responsibility. Most of y'all just don't know what y'all want. Y'all are confused.
Welcome to the Readiness Tribe. Let's get started on today's video.
Mama, there goes that man.
If you look at dating app data, there is a tendency for basically very attractive men, high status men, to do really well on dating apps, to get a lot of attention from a lot of women. And then for the bottom chunk of men, in terms of attractiveness, to get none, to just get no matches whatsoever. And this is a tendency, it's called hypergamy, female hypergamy, that women will tend to want to marry up socially. So they'll want to marry a man who is richer than them, better educated than them, more successful than them, etc. This is basically what you see when people are left to their own devices on dating apps, and you can monitor it carefully. That is basically what people do. And the problem you end up with is that when you don't have a system of monogamous marriage and you don't have the expectation that people wait, there's really nothing stopping those men from just having loads of girlfriends, maybe having at the same time, like having little harems, right? You know, not calling them that, but having, basically playing the field and not being forced to commit because no one expects them to, really. And it's like good fun for those men. It's frustrating for the women because they're like having relationships with these men in the hope that it will turn into commitment. And then it never does. They end up feeling really bitter. And it's also frustrating for the less attractive men who are getting no attention whatsoever and who read me or listen to me saying the sexual revolution was good for men. And it's like, it wasn't good for me. It's like, I know. There's like an inbuilt inequality.
She's saying what a lot of guys have been experiencing. Dating apps aren't just competitive, they're uneven. A small percentage of men get most of the attention, while the majority are stuck sending messages that go nowhere. And when you hear that from a woman, it hits different, because now it's not men are bitter. It's the system itself is lopsided. Men are expected to initiate, carry the conversation, stand out instantly, all while competing in a space where attention is concentrated at the top. So when people ask, why aren't men approaching the same way? Part of the answer is right here. They've already been through a system where effort doesn't guarantee visibility, and visibility doesn't guarantee a chance. So now, they move different. Less chasing, more filtering, more awareness of where they actually stand. Because once you understand the game, you stop playing it blindly.
Post nailed it. It's because we're in an era of half interest. Everyone's like kinda talking, kinda seeing each other, kinda keeping it casual, but deep down, most people are craving something real. Many people are faced with this like block. We want connection, but we're terrified to commit. We want intimacy, but we're too scared to be seen. It's like a world full of people pretending they don't care while actually caring too much. And then on top of that, there's this energetic imbalance. Masculine energy pulling back, feminine energy overextending. Women are tired, men feel disconnected, and nobody feels safe. Nobody feels balanced. Let's throw all the unhealed stuff into the mix. The ghosting, the avoiding, the breadcrumbing. Honestly, it's no wonder people don't know how to communicate anymore. We're all out here wanting healed relationships while holding on to wounds that we still haven't dealt with yet. We all take a moment to be really honest with ourselves. Real love requires real effort. Real connection requires real presence. And the healing, that's all you. Listen, this weird ass dating era doesn't have to define us. We can still choose honesty, we can still choose clarity, and we can still choose to show up.
Now this right here explains why dating feels off. Because we're in the era of half interest, half replies, half plans, half commitment. Just enough attention to keep you around. Never enough to build anything real. And when a woman calls that out, it hits different. Because now it's not men aren't trying, it's people are engaging just enough to not be alone, but not enough to be accountable. That's the game. Low effort, high expectations, minimal investment, maximum options. So nobody commits, but everybody complains. And the people who actually want something real, they're stuck trying to figure out, is this genuine, or am I just another option in rotation? That's why dating feels draining now. It's not rejection. It's indecision disguised as interest. And once you recognize that, you stop chasing potential and start filtering for intent.
So many women are competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys are getting ignored. And then what ends up happening is, where do those guys go? And they go online. That's what you see. They go to porn. They go to porn, or they go to Reddit. I mean, I love Reddit, but they're really going to some of these red-pilled communities. And so what you're seeing now is just men really opting out of society. So when you go back to that stat, 1 in 7 young men in the UK is NEET, not an employment, education, or training. They have just opted out. And as Scott says, there's nothing scarier than a single man, a young single man. And so we are just creating a lot of these angry young single men who are saying, well, this is rigged against me. And so that's why I am worried about the rise of people like Andrew Tate. And if we wonder, where are the dads, where are the men? Well, men are finding these father figures, but they're finding them online, and they're not the father figures that I would choose for the majority of men. And so I'm really worried about this, because I feel like women are saying, guys, you need to step up because I can provide and I don't need that from you. And guys are not prepared to rise to the occasion.
Now everybody's concerned. Young men are checking out, not pursuing, not engaging, and suddenly it's a problem. But where was that energy when those same men were saying something felt off? Because this didn't come out of nowhere. You don't get mass disengagement without years of people feeling overlooked, dismissed, or replaceable. And now the narrative is, they're being influenced, they're being misled. No. A lot of them are just connecting patterns, and once a man feels like the system doesn't benefit him, he doesn't protest. He withdraws. That's the part that's uncomfortable, because you can't shame someone back into participation in something they've already decided doesn't serve them. So now the concern sounds different. Not, what did we miss, but why aren't they showing up anymore? And men are answering that question quietly, because we don't see the value. Not loud, not emotional, just absent.
These messages literally perpetuate the problem that our society faces with dating, relationships, and loneliness. If we are telling other people to isolate and to not be in relationship and to protect our hearts from being vulnerable, from putting ourselves out there, if we're trying to create conditions that are the most optimal ways to live, where we never get hurt, we never face rejection, we are literally never going to grow, build resilience, and build the skill sets to regulate our own emotions. And that is literally what life is about. It's learning how to regulate your emotions, because 99% of things in life we cannot control for and we cannot predict. So what you've got to focus on is, how do you create a sense of inner joy and inner peace despite what's going around you? So staying single and isolating yourself from relationships that are beautiful and like foundational to human, like the human experience, that doesn't increase your peace. That actually just makes you more depressed, because humans are wired to connect. And frankly, we shouldn't be outsourcing our peace onto anything or anyone else. Like, you need to learn how to create that for yourself and create your own sense of joy and internal feelings of joy. So it's comments like these that are deeply troubling to see and are really not helping anyone.
All he said was, "Stay single, gentlemen, and increase your peace." No attack, no disrespect, just a choice. And somehow, that triggered a reaction. That tells you everything. Because if a man choosing peace over participation feels like a threat, then maybe it's not the message. It's what the message implies. That he's not chasing, not performing, not signing up for something that feels draining. And that's where the tension is. Because a lot of men aren't angry. They're just opting out quietly. No debates, no arguments, just a shift in priorities. So when someone reacts strongly to that, men are looking at it like, why does my peace bother you that much?
I went on a date with a guy last night who was part of the men not asking women questions on dates epidemic, and I started thinking about really why this might be. Oh, I'm gonna take care of the annoying, he might be shy thing for you. Yeah, maybe. Maybe these guys might be shy, but not all of them can be shy. And I fear that the real reason why they don't ask us questions is because they don't care.
What I've noticed with a lot of women in general is they'll be talking about something and they won't leave any space for any input or questions. You just kind of keep going off. And sometimes you'll go off on a tangent, you'll change the subject, and by the time it gets to the point where he could ask a question, you already changed the subject like 6 times. And the thing he wanted to ask or make a comment on is long gone, and at that point it would be awkward to bring up. Also, are you even talking about anything that he's interested in? Are you talking about girl stuff and makeup and things that you specifically like to do that maybe he doesn't, or boring topics? You just talking about the weather? I've noticed the best way to get a man talking is talk about something he's interested in, because then you guys can have a moment of kind of geeking out about it. And then also leaving space so he can give his input and ask questions. I've also noticed women often give a ton of detail when they describe something. So how is he supposed to ask a question if you've pretty much given him all the details already? A lot of men aren't going to ask like very simple questions about details.
She's upset he didn't ask questions, but she didn't leave him oxygen. You talked the entire date. Stories, opinions, tangents, no breaks, no pauses. And now it's, he wasn't curious about me. No, he couldn't access you, because once a man realizes he's not in a conversation, he stops trying to participate. He clocks it for what it is, a one-person show. And at that point, he's not thinking of follow-up questions. He's thinking about the exit. Because curiosity needs space, interest needs interaction. But if everything is already being said, what exactly is he supposed to ask? So no, he didn't fail the date. He adjusted to it. And if anything, the real issue isn't that he didn't ask questions. It's that you never stopped talking long enough to realize he checked out halfway through.
What women want from men is unrealistic, and what men want from women is unrealistic. A woman is too busy trying to tell men how to be men, and that's why we can't learn how to be men, because we arguing with women about they need to be women. I tell my woman, don't worry about what a man is doing when he leave the house. If that kitchen is dirty, ain't no clothes for, why you worried about what I do as a man? You try to be a better woman.
This concludes this video. If you made it this far, thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please comment and subscribe. Artie out.